Hello, my name is Alicia Lewis, and this is my professional development presentation on understanding students with ADHD. ADHD, or Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, is a mental disorder occurring mainly in children that disrupts their inability to stay focused, concentrate, and stay on task. This condition, because the symptoms can vary from child to child, can be hard to diagnose, and often children are mislabeled as troubled students in the classroom. It's important as educators for us to stay vigilant to the signs in order to actively aid students with any type of disability. Here are some facts on ADHD. 6.4 million American children ages 4 to 17 have been diagnosed with ADHD. That's 6.1% of the nation. The number of children diagnosed with this disorder has also had a 42% increase within the last 8 years. So why is ADHD on the rise? Well, there's a number of reasons at play here. First of all, we're placing a stronger focus on the issue. Teachers are being trained to look for this, doctors, parents, everybody is on the lookout for these disorders in children. And even sometimes you may have some children that are overdiagnosed. There's a large list of symptoms, and sometimes you may think a child has this that doesn't. Or also it could be demographic factors of where the children live that could come into play. Behind me on this slide, you'll see a great big list of specific behaviors and characteristics of students with ADHD. There's a lot of them. And every child is different. Some may have learning disabilities, conduct disorders, antisocial behavior. They may have a more fighting attitude, defiant disorder, anxiety disorders. The child may not listen, they may not sit still, they might have depression, inattention, they might be anxious in the classroom and afraid to ask questions, they might be unorganized, bipolar disorder, hyperactivity, maybe the child avoids putting an effort into the classroom, Tourette syndrome, impulsivity, the child loses their homework, the child can't follow directions, substance abuse, trouble paying attention, maybe the child has bedwetting problems, or social situations are difficult to them. They may run away often in the classroom, or they might talk a lot and interrupt. There's many things a teacher must look out for, and a child must meet these and more than one to be considered ADHD. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is covered under other health impaired within the IDEA law. This means there's not a strict set of guidelines, and that all children with ADHD do not display the same set of symptoms. You might have some children that are mostly inattentive and quiet, anxious, and then you have others who are on the opposite scale, more hyperactive, talking in class, not following directions, can't stay in their seat. But the majority of the students you're going to find are going to have a combination of the two, which makes it difficult to diagnose. As an educator, you're going to find that there are a number of effective class-wide interventions for all students. I'm going to go over a few with you that I was able to find. First of all, teachers need to stay vigilant. They need to be noticing problems in the classroom, looking out for that student that can't stay in their seat, or maybe the one that is distracted and needs to be set aside in order to take their test. Any way that we can help the students or bring to light any type of disabilities they might have is always going to be key. Another thing that they might be able to do is task duration. Sometimes students need breaks between things. If you're doing a really long project, break it up into sections. And if you're not, sometimes just pause the activity in itself, let the kids get up, stretch, walk around. Peer tutoring is another one. Putting children in pairs or groups that encourage each other. Put the shy kid with the accepting child. Let one student be a teacher teaching a skill to another student to give them more confidence. That way they can bounce off of each other's strengths and weaknesses, enabling both sides. Another intervention is schedule around the child. ADHD worsens as the day goes on, so you want to schedule more academic things in the morning when they're more apt and prepared to sit through it, and schedule the more non-academic activities for later in the afternoon where the child can move around more when they need to. Keep their attention in the classroom. Use visualizations and hands-on. Any type of lesson where you can get the child involved, active, moving is going to be more fun and more memorable, and it's going to keep their attention. The next one is auditory clues. Some of the schools, I thought this was really neat, use auditory tones, which is just a very subtle me. You know, it reminds the student, hey, I'm supposed to be on task. And this has seemed to work well, especially with arithmetic. For students who get easily distracted, it's just a little reminder, you know, hey, I'm supposed to be focusing, and puts them back where they're supposed to be. A teacher needs to keep their instructions short. Don't rattle off, here's what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Keep it one step at a time. People with ADHD don't focus very well, and they don't have a very good memory. So giving shorter instructions enables that. They're going to remember it, finish the task, and then they're going to also have confidence because of that. The next one is have periods of controlled movement. Stop the lesson. Let the kids get up, walk around the classroom a little bit. It just helps for the child that can't stay sitting in their seat. My son is actually one of the children that can't stay in their seat. And it's really neat in his classroom because his teacher puts him in the back row. And that way, during class, if he feels like he needs to stand up and stretch, he's allowed to do that without interrupting the rest of the students. And that's one type of intervention that is used on him. And when he's done stretching, he sits back down and goes back to what he was doing. And it really seems to help with him. Sometimes kids just need that little bit of energy out so that they can focus back on what they were doing. There's two more. The next to last one is minimize classroom distractions. Some kids are distracted by clutter around them, and the easiest thing to do is to minimize that. Don't have too many things up on the walls. Don't have stacks of paper sitting around. Anything to keep the kids focused on primarily what they're supposed to be doing is better. And the last one is positively encourage good behavior. Not saying ignore the bad. Timeouts. You have to have negative consequences, but put an extra emphasis on good behavior. Therefore, the child has something to strive for. My son's school does a Friday extra recess, which the kids really like to try to earn. And then in turn, if they don't behave in class, they have to sit out that extra recess while the other kids are playing. And they also have, if the class as a whole, if no one loses their 4 Fridays in a month, they have a big activity where this last one, they took a big hayride around the schoolyard, and they've had farm animals come in and things like that. So anything to really encourage that. They use clip-up charts. Some teachers use sticker charts. It all depends on the teacher, but that positive encouragement is going to drive that student with ADHD to strive for something. I'll leave you with a quote to sum up. Kids with ADHD need someone in their corner. Even if you don't always have the answers, be that someone. That's what being a teacher is about. Thank you for listening.